Look, I'm gonna be straight with you. You probably clicked on this video because you're stuck. Not stuck like, oh no, my life is terrible stuck, but that annoying kind of stuck where you know you could be doing more, being more, achieving more, but somehow every day ends the same way. Scrolling, planning, telling yourself tomorrow's the day, and then tomorrow comes and yeah, I get it because I've been there. Hell, most people I know have been there. You've got the vision board, maybe you've read Atomic Habits twice, you follow all these productivity accounts on Instagram, and you know what all the successful people say you're supposed to do. But there's this massive gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. And nobody really talks about that gap in a real way. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna give you some rah-rah speech about how you're a champion or how all you need is to believe in yourself. That stuff doesn't work when it's 6 a.m. and your alarm goes off and every cell in your body is screaming to hit snooze. What I'm gonna give you is the actual framework, the stuff that bridges that gap between who you are right now and who you're trying to become. First, let's talk about why you're actually stuck, and I don't mean the surface level stuff. Yeah, you procrastinate. Yeah, you get distracted, but that's not the root problem. Those are symptoms. The real issue is that you're running on the wrong operating system. Think about it like this. You're trying to run high-performance software on hardware that's still configured for survival mode. Your brain is literally wired to conserve energy, avoid discomfort, and keep you safe. That's not a bug. It's a feature. It kept your ancestors alive when stepping out of the cave could mean becoming lunch for something with bigger teeth. But now that same mechanism is what makes you choose Netflix over that project. You keep saying you'll start. It's what makes you scroll through your phone instead of making that difficult phone call. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's just that what worked for survival doesn't work for peak performance. And you can't just think your way out of this. You can't positive affirmation yourself into being disciplined. I've seen too many people journal about their goals, visualize their success, and then do absolutely nothing. Because at the end of the day, knowing and doing are two completely different games. So here's what peak performance actually looks like when you break it down. It's not complicated, but it is brutally honest. Peak performance is equal to clarity into consistent action, divide by resistance. That's it. 3 components. But most people only focus on 1, maybe 2, and wonder why nothing changes. Let's break this down. Clarity. Most people don't actually know what they want. You think you know what you want, but do you really? I want to be successful isn't a target, it's a vibe. I want to get in shape isn't actionable, it's a wish. If I woke you up at 3 a.m. and asked you what you're working toward and why, could you tell me in 1 sentence? Could you describe exactly what your life looks like when you get there? What you're doing every Tuesday at 2 p.m.? Who you're spending time with? What problems you've solved? Most people can't, and that's why they drift. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you definitely can't hit a target that keeps moving every time you get a new idea or see someone else's success on social media. So step 1, and I mean before anything else, get brutally specific about what you're actually trying to build. Not what sounds impressive, not what your parents want, not what looks good on Instagram. What do you actually want your daily life to look like? Write it down. Make it so specific it feels uncomfortable, because vague goals create vague results, and vague results create vague lives. Okay, so you've got clarity. Now comes the part everyone wants to skip. Doing the boring work over and over and over again. I know. You want the hack, the shortcut, the one weird trick that makes everything click into place overnight. But the truth is, there isn't one. Peak performance isn't built in moments of inspiration. It's built in the 1,000 tiny decisions you make when nobody's watching and nothing feels exciting. Think about it like compound interest. If you put away $10 a day, it doesn't feel like much. After a week, you've got $70. After a month, $300. Still not life-changing. But after 10 years, you're looking at $36,500 plus interest. That's a used car. That's a down payment. That's options you didn't have before. Your actions work the same way. One workout doesn't transform your body. 1 hour of focused work doesn't build a business. One conversation doesn't create a network. But do those things consistently. Not perfectly, just consistently. And in 6 months, you won't even recognize your life. The problem is, we live in a highlight reel culture. You see someone's success on YouTube or Twitter and you think they just woke up one day and had it all figured out. You don't see the 3 years they spent posting videos to 47 subscribers. You don't see the nights they wanted to quit. You don't see the boring, repetitive work that built the foundation. So pick one thing, just one. The thing that, if you did it every single day for the next 90 days, would fundamentally change your trajectory. Maybe it's writing for an hour, maybe it's working out, maybe it's making sales calls, maybe it's learning a skill. Whatever it is, commit to doing it before you do anything else that day, not when you feel motivated, not when the conditions are perfect. Every single day. And here's the secret nobody tells you. You don't need to feel like doing it. Motivation is garbage. Motivation is what gets you started on Monday. Discipline is what keeps you going on Thursday when it's raining and you're tired and you'd rather do literally anything else. Now let's talk about the denominator in that equation, resistance. This is the friction that's constantly working against you, and most people don't even know it's there. Resistance shows up as your environment, like trying to eat healthy with junk food in every cupboard, your habits, automatically reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, your identity, still seeing yourself as not a morning person or bad with money, your associations, hanging around people who make fun of your ambitions, your energy management, staying up till 2 a.m. watching videos about productivity. You can have all the clarity and discipline in the world, but if your environment is fighting you, you're trying to sprint through mud, it's mathematically harder to succeed. So you've got to optimize for low resistance. And that means making the hard stuff easier and the distracting stuff harder. Want to work out in the morning? Sleep in your gym clothes. Put your shoes by the bed. Make it so the path of least resistance is doing the thing you said you'd do. Want to stop wasting hours on social media? Delete the apps. Yeah, actually delete them. Now you might say, but I need them for work. No, you need the browser versions for work. And if you ask me, yes, I don't have these apps on my phone, no TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook. These apps are designed to hijack your attention. They're engineered by people way smarter than you to keep you scrolling. You're not gonna willpower your way out of that. Change the game. Want to build a business? Stop hanging out with people who think having a job is the only legitimate path. I'm not saying dump your friends, but you need to spend more time around people who think what you're trying to do is normal, not crazy. Here's something I learned that changed everything for me: the 48-hour rule. When you learn something new, when you get inspired, when you have a realization about what you need to change, you have 48 hours to take action or it doesn't count. That's it. 2 days. After that, the moment's gone, the insight gets buried, and you're back to your default programming. This is why people go to seminars, get all hyped up, and then 3 weeks later, their life looks exactly the same. The insight didn't become action fast enough. So when you finish this video, you've got 48 hours. Not to overhaul your entire life, just to take one action that moves you forward. Schedule the thing, delete the app, have the conversation, make the first piece of content, send the email, something, anything, because action creates momentum, and momentum creates results, and results create confidence, and confidence creates more action. It's a flywheel, but you've got to push it to get it spinning. The identity shift. And here's the final piece, and it's the most important one. Peak performance isn't about what you do, it's about who you become. Most people approach change from the outside in. They try to change their results by changing their actions, and that works. Temporarily. You can force yourself to go to the gym for a month, but if you still identify as someone who doesn't work out, you'll stop. The real shift happens when you go from the inside out, when you stop trying to be disciplined and start seeing yourself as a disciplined person, when you stop trying to be productive and start seeing yourself as someone who values their time, when you stop trying to be successful and start seeing yourself as someone who solves problems and creates value. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Skip the workout, vote for lazy, follow through on your commitment, vote for disciplined, scroll for an hour, vote for distracted. The question isn't what do I need to do? The question is who do I need to become? And then you reverse engineer the actions that person would take. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you and say this is easy or that you'll love every minute of it. Some days are gonna suck. Some days you're gonna do everything right and still feel like you're not making progress. Some days you're gonna wanna quit. But here's what I've learned. The difference between people who reach peak performance and people who stay stuck isn't talent. It's not luck. It's not circumstances. It's that the people who make it decided that the discomfort of discipline was easier to live with than the regret of not trying. You've got everything you need right now, so what are you gonna do with that? Everyone has that one thing they know they should be doing but keep avoiding. What's yours? Comment it. I want to see how many of us are in the same boat.